All right, Sean, we've got a feisty affair this weekend. It is the first Tyne-Wear Derby in the Premier League in a number of years, and I can tell you I'm definitely looking forward to this one on Sunday. And so this is the preview, the Red Card Radio preview of round 16 in the Premier League. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That guy over there is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. This is the North London edition of Red Card Radio. We've given Brad the week off because he's super busy at work and it was his birthday this week. So giving him the week off, and yeah, it's quite a week for him to be missing because I don't know about you, Sean, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Stadium of Light on Sunday. And before we dig into this match at the Stadium of Light, if you hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're new here, if you just stumbled across us, if you're on the podcast site, thanks for clicking and tuning in. And if you could hit a follow, 5-star review, whatever the platform allows, drop a comment. If you're on Spotify, drop a comment. If you're on YouTube, we'd love to hear from you guys. And so listen to the end, share it, send it to your wife or your boyfriend or whoever. And, really does help us out tremendously when you do that for us. So. But yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
Tyne-Wear Derby. What are you thinking, man? How are you feeling?
My initial thought is, man, we are like half of the way back to like proper Barclays, right? Like we've got Sunderland back, Tottenham play Forest, we've got Leeds, we've got, you know what I mean? Like we're almost there. Like we just need like a little Stoke, a little Blackburn,
I don't know about Stoke.
Proper Barclays. Yeah.
I don't know about Stoke.
Okay. Fair enough.
You can miss me with Stoke.
I threw them in there to throw a little jab at you. I threw that in there for a little jab at you, but yeah. Maybe we mix in a little Portsmouth. I know they've hit some hard times down there at the southwest coast.
Speaking of Portsmouth, we've been drawn. Arsenal have been drawn against Portsmouth in the third round of the FA Cup. So,
you going there?
I believe
so. Southwest.
I believe we're going to Southwest. What is the name of their stadium? I can't remember. You continue.
Doesn't matter. United or. Doesn't matter stadium. I was just we've got the Tyne. What'd you call it? The Tyne-Wear
Derby.
Tyne-Wear Derby, which is the Tyne is a river in Newcastle, in which one Newcastle team is on one side and the other Newcastle team is on the other, and they don't really bleeping like each other.
I'm under the impression that they can see each other, like that Newcastle Sunderland are so close. All right, we're gonna do a quick.
You could stand at the top of one stadium and see the other one.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. So,
you know what? Actually, in the cockerel, what do they call it? The cock's roost or the cockerel's roost at the top. You could walk the stadium walk on the top of top of Tottenham. I'm sure from there you can see the Emirates. If you're that high up,
probably.
We're not that far apart.
It's like 4 miles, something like that.
You probably could see the Emirates from there.
Now, I was curious about the head-to-head situation in this derby, and so I did a quick AI, and I asked Grok, the statistics on this, and would you know, according to Grok, so grain of salt. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Apparently, in competitive fixtures, probably. In competitive fixtures, Sunderland and Newcastle have played 157 times. Newcastle have won 54 of those meetings. Sunderland have won 53, and there have been 50 draws. So just an exceptionally even derby.
For decades.
Yeah, for hundreds of years. Not hundreds, but for over 100 years, I think. Would you know? Well, it has to be 100 years because of the statistic I'm about to give you. Do you want to wager a guess at the largest margin of victory in this rivalry?
I'm going to guess it's 9-0 back in like the 1918 season or something like that.
You were really close, Sean. It was 9-1.
Okay, that was a pure guess.
It was 9-1 in 1908, in December of 1908. So
I was not far off. I was
yeah,
not far off.
you were
That
thumbing
was
through
back when
the
Arsenal got all of its trophies and the like when I say the refs had three-piece suits on.
Yes, that is true. Probably the ball was actually leather at that point.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and so that's this one should be good. And if we look at the table, if we're just table merchants, this is ninth versus 12th. They're separated by 1 point in the Premier League right now. So it's a game that has tremendous impact on league standing as well. And so, if these two teams were in the relegation area, 1 point away, we would be calling this a relegation 15-pointer, because I think we're up to
Yeah.
relegation 15-pointers right now in the Red Card
But we're
Radio
not.
2025. Yeah, we're not, but Brad is. You and I are not. But anywho,
But
um,
you know, we were talking recently tangentially about Newcastle, and this should be, I think Joe Linton went off injured. Is he back? I did not catch the Newcastle game this past weekend, but he's such an important player to their midfield because it kind of allows the presence of the physicality of Joe Linton allows Bruno to not have to be the six, that he can
yes,
be the eight. He can
yeah,
kind of control the game a little bit because he can be the six. They just operate better when he's not. And then so Tenali and him can kind of be dual eights. Or, Tenali can be a 10, Bruno can be a 10, but the presence of Joe Linton cleaning up the back just allows them to do what they do best. And we were just talking last week about the importance of Joe Linton to their team and how it functions. And as long as those three are together, Newcastle are just really darn hard to beat. And
yes.
it kind of stinks when you play them because your midfielders just get beat up,
You
for
you
lack of a better term.
you don't have to tell me. I know that well.
They're just really physical.
Yes.
And it's hard because all three of them are big as crap. They're all three just freight trains.
Yeah. I don't
And it's hard to play against them.
I guess we could double check the Champions League. They played in the Champions League today. And so we could just quickly just look and see
And
who
let me
played
tell
in
you,
midfield
Lewis
for them.
Miley's not much better. I mean, he's long and lanky, but he's still physical as crap.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with your sentiment that when they play together, yeah. So Joelinton, Tonali, and Guimaraes played all together today. Joelinton came
Okay.
off for someone at some point, but they
Okay.
all did play together. So that does bode well
Yeah.
for
So they're back.
it bodes well
Yeah.
for them. And like looking at players like Anthony Gordon's in good form, Voltamata is in good form,
Yeah.
and so I think that this is potentially could be
They they play
a good
like
game.
and I'm sure this mentality was like in the 80s and 90s of the Premier League, but like it was an old NFL adage and just general football adage of you may beat us, but you're gonna feel us tomorrow.
Yes, yeah,
Like how it feels like Newcastle. Like you may win the game, but you're gonna remember that you played us physically with your body. You're gonna be bruised. You're gonna be sore, and you might have walked away with the 3 points, but you're gonna remember.
I don't disagree with that sentiment about Newcastle. I have I have some biased opinions about Newcastle over the last couple years, which I think I shared when Arsenal and Newcastle played a few weeks ago, and Joe was on the podcast, and I think he pushed back on that a little bit. Maybe we'll have to call Joel up, see if he's available for next week, and get his reactions to this match. But I definitely don't
They used to
disagree that Newcastle are a team that will leave one on you right now, especially Joelinton, especially Guimaraes. Like they're gonna leave one on you and let you know that you're there, that they are there.
Yeah, and they used to do stats like back in the old 2000 Ravens defense. They used to do stats of like I think it was one year with that defense with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all of those Terrell Suggs and all of those guys that they would I think the stat one year was something that teams were something like 2-14 in the week following the Ravens game. Like it was something just ridiculous that the week after they were
Yeah,
just so the team
just beat up.
that played them the week prior, they were just beat up. It just
That's funny. I
you
could
win in
believe
the
it.
aggregate.
I could believe it.
Yeah, you just felt it.
Are
So
you,
that being said, we haven't done a lot of technical diving into this. So that being said,
uh,
it's Newcastle
you think,
that should be coming away here.
I don't know, man. The Fighting Granite Xhacas to me they've been on form. They've been playing teams well. Now they had City last week, and that's most teams are losing to City. Most teams are getting shellacked by City, and so you don't really necessarily hold that against them them last week. Who did they have before
That's the
that?
thing that
Oh,
helps Sunderland and
they almost beat Liverpool. Remember, if it wasn't for
yeah, they did.
Chiesa running 80 yards or
Yeah.
whatever it was, they would have beat Liverpool at Anfield. So I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think
They're not scared of anybody.
at the Stadium of Light, first time back in the Premier League, I think I'm going to go on I think I'm going to lock it in. I think Sunderland are going to win this game.
Are you really?
I am.
Really?
I don't know what the score is, but I put
Well,
it
the
into
thing
the
that helps
spreadsheet.
them with what we were discussing about the physicality of Newcastle, what really helps is having someone that as established and also physical as Granit Xhaka. That really helps them to like he has calmed down in his older age. He is not as reckless as he once was, but he's also not going to back down from any of
Yes.
those challenges either.
To be
He is
fair,
going to stand tall.
he got an unreasonably bad rap for being dangerous and or reckless, whatever. He was refereed off of up what people believed about him rather than what he was actually doing on the pitch. Preconceived notions. That's what I was looking for back, especially when he played for Arsenal a couple of times.
Funny enough, I think the reverse Granit Xhaka is happening to Romero. That
Yeah.
that he had a reputation of being very reckless and he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then since he started to get adjudicated that way, he figured, screw it, I might as well be reckless.
I'm
And
just gonna
now
lean
he's
into it.
actually doing yeah, might as well. Yeah, like that's almost what it feels like. Cause now he's doing things where I'm like, okay, you don't have to do that, but you are. And now there's a yellow card produced. So
Yeah.
he is still only Romero, by the way, only has ever had the one red card, and that was the follow through kick on Kukurea, which should not
Really?
have been a red card.
That's his
That is his
only
only red card ever. Yes,
for
is that one.
wait, his only
Following through on a kick in which he got the ball and his
that's his only
cleat hit Kukurea.
red card ever in
No, not ever like
Oh,
since
okay.
he's been at Tottenham.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay, okay.
in Tottenham, in his Tottenham career, that is his only red card. So
Okay.
I'm not going
Sure,
back
okay.
to River Plate or whatever, like wherever he started in Argentina.
Got it. Okay. I just wasn't sure. Yeah, so I think
Um,
I think Sunderland will win this game. I think it will be tight.
Okay.
But I for some reason something's just telling me that I think they're gonna pull it out.
Man, I think Newcastle are tough, man. We played against them a couple weeks ago, and they're Voltamata is good, man. I don't know how Newcastle keeps finding these. They just keep finding these strikers who
We
or maybe it's the production around them, right? Like
you,
maybe it's just the team
you
itself.
know what's kind of interesting about Old Tomato is that it could have been Hugo Ekitike, right? And so like we think about the fact that they signed Voltamata kind of as a reaction to not getting Hugo Ekitike. But had they gotten Ekitike, I think they would have been even more productive because I don't know about you, but I think Ekitike is probably just a little bit of a better player than Ultimata.
I, I was on record saying this is probably a signing on par with or better than Isak.
Yeah. So
Now it. So I was very highly because we played Frankfurt in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Tottenham did, and en route to the Europa League, and that Ekatike was freaking everywhere, obnoxious to mark. I mean, he just moved and moved and moved and moved, and he was everywhere. It's annoying to play against him.
And I'm not trying to cast aspersions or be rude to Voltamata in any way. He's clearly very good
No,
and a very skilled player and
yeah,
fits very well for Newcastle. I think he like when you think about losing a player like Alexander Isak, you're never going to be able to replace that player because he's arguably one of the best strikers in the world. Um,
yeah.
and so not being able to replace him, you kind of want to maybe try and do something else. I mean, have a different look. And Voltamata is a little bit more of that like prima punta target man type center forward where you put the ball up there and he's going to win it with his head and he's skillful with the ball at his feet as well. And so I mean, he's a very well-rounded striker for Newcastle.
Well, it's kind of like not that we're going in reverse, but kind of those prima puntas, like you were talking about, like that kind of striker is kind of making a comeback, but more
A little bit.
athletic.
Yeah,
It's
a little
not,
bit.
it's not how it was where they're just kind of rigid, and then we're not talking about a Peter Crouch here,
Yep.
but like Erling Holland is very athletic, big frame.
Hmm.
We were just last episode, by the way, check out our last episode. It came out a few days ago, so check that out. But we were talking about Dom Solanke,
Yep.
very athletic and good with his back to the ball or back to the goal. And so Voltamata feels kind of like of that ilk of he's good with his back to the goal. He's also good in the air. He's got the touch to be able to do the 1-2 if you need him. Um, so it kind of feels like we're kind of reverting back around to maybe that's a viable option nowadays in the modern game.
I mean, I'm here for it. I kind of want to see. I want to see teams get away from the 4-3-3 slightly, and to like do something different. Maybe play with a second striker. Go back to 4-4-2. Like I want to see, like because when we started watching football, it was everyone just played 4-4-2. Everyone in
That's
England
it.
was playing 4-4-2, um,
That's it.
and then you had like your occasional, you know, five at the back, and then like eventually football kind of has all homogenized on this 4-3-3, and like it seems like all of the teams are playing some form of some variation of 4-3-3. And I'd like to see some proper center midfielders and some right midfielders and not wingers, but like midfielder like boots on the line midfielders, and playing a second striker, and I'd like to see some of that. And Voltamata is a player that you could do that with, in the same sense that like Victor Gyökeres at Arsenal is a player that you could put and pair with a second striker. I would love to see Arteta play Gabriel Jesus and Victor Gyökeres together in a 4-4-2. I think that would be tremendous. I don't think he's ever going to do it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna go Jokeris and Mourinho.
Okay, that
Because
would
why wouldn't you?
well.
Because that's an extra body on the field that does multiple things, which is what Arteta likes,
I
right?
th-
Like
I think sometimes
he
you
likes
want.
versatility on the
Sure,
field.
absolutely, and that's why he loves Kai Havertz. But I think if you're going to play a 4-2-2 and you're going to have a second striker, you kind of want them to be more agile and less of the
Oh,
same.
speaking of Havertz, imagine if he goes Jokeris Havertz up top. Oh man,
Yeah, I mean, Havertz is making his way back, and there are some nasty iterations of Arsenal lineups
yeah,
that will just cause all Liverpool supporters everywhere to molt with the set piece options. Could you imagine Kai Havertz, Victor
yeah,
Gyökeres, Miko Marino,
yeah.
and just like trying to head balls from Declan Rice or Bukayo Saka? Like,
I think there are lineups that Tottenham can run where there is while Madison is injured. There are lineups that we can run where no one is under 6 foot,
yeah.
not a single player on the pitch.
Hey, sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it.
Um, and so like Brennan Johnson, like he doesn't look very big, but he's 6 foot. Like like Kudos is so we and Kulusevski is very big. Like there are lineups that we have where it's Going to be the tall lineup, and this is how we're rocking.
And
Tell us tall.
do you think you would need that lineup this weekend against Forest?
Um, no. There is Mikalinkov is a very big guy, but no, we don't got a lot of height there at Forest. No, I don't think there's any reason that we shouldn't be. First of all, we're playing away.
True.
We're playing at City Stadium, so we should be in form.
This has a
no, I
couple.
don't think we should be bad.
There's a couple
As we
storylines
get more
on this one because of the fact that Morgan Gibbs-White almost signed for Tottenham. It was the transfer that wouldn't go away until we got that that great picture of Morgan Gibbs-White holding the shirt with Miranakis, and it just looks like when he re-signed with Forest and like extended his contract with Forest.
like
And it just
force. I felt forced.
yes, it looked like the mafia had just like broken his grandmother's
Like
knees.
if I was writing headlines for the Sun or whatever the tabloids are over there, I would have wrote Nottingham Forced. Like he was forced to sign back.
I see
Like,
what
he
you
didn't
did
have
there.
a choice.
See what you now.
Yeah,
Of course,
you see what I did?
we're not suggesting. Red Card Radio is not suggesting that there's anything
Nope.
untoward.
We're not alleging.
No
Nope.
allegations. Yeah,
Not alleging anything.
but that's what it looked like.
No
That's
reporting.
That's what those pictures look like.
It did. And also, like I remember you guys texting me about this of like, is it going to go through? And I was like, we tripped a clause. Like, there's no question about this. No, it's done. We bought his buyout. Like, that's it. There's no like, what are you guys talking about? Is it done? No, we got his buyout clause. That's it.
Yeah, the only
And then
thing
it didn't. And then it didn't happen.
You had to agree to those personal terms, and it just seemed like that was never happening. So, but
it's crazy.
Do you think Spurs? You think Spurs should win this game pretty handily?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, we should.
You're not worried about the Dyche effect?
Well, that always is something to worry about. But no, Tottenham have and this is what I've been saying the whole year long, and it's been a little dicey of the last couple of weeks, and there's been some issues with Frank and the things that he's saying versus the things that we see on the field. Of he's saying, I want to be on the front foot, but okay, but you don't have a very good offense. So what? And you started the Arsenal game with a 5-man back. That's not playing on the front foot. Like, Ange made no bones about it. Like, we're going forward, and that's all she wrote. And then he did that, and it was a double-edged sword sometimes. And he lived by the sword and died by the sword, and it ultimately died by the sword. But by the way, not dead. That was metaphorical. But
yes, thank you.
But like Frank is saying one thing, and then the play says another one. So we're not dumb, dude. Like I got eyeball. What's the Lee the Lee Gunner?
I don't.
We got eyeball. I got eyeballs, mate. And they're crap. So yeah, like no, don't tell me that it's raining and then you just pee on my head. So like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you can keep saying that you want to be on the front foot, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes it does, and we've got good free flowing football, and then it feels good again. So I just want the players to play with that free flowing ball that we can do, and have especially when we play players like Odebear and we play Kudos and we play Bergvall, and there's a lot of free flowing football that happens when we have those players on the pitch. We just can't have Bergvall can play a 10. He is not a good 10. He can play it. He is not good at it. So he just needs to be in the.
Why don't you just play Kudos there? Like, Kudos
that's something I've been curious about.
He's exceptionally skillful.
Exceptionally good. Yeah. Very good with the ball. Very good in tight space. But that's the problem with Bergvall in that 10 is he's not good in a tight space. because I don't know if he hasn't grown into his body, if he hasn't figured out his. He's very young, so it's hard to pinpoint what it is. If that's just not something he's going to be very good at, or if he hasn't learned it yet.
Yeah.
But he's just not good in a tight space where someone like Kudos and Brennan Johnson or Odebear are really good at that. But that's not their position. But Kudos can play the 10, and he did it a lot for West Ham, right? Like
Yeah.
he played a lot of 10 for them. I'm pretty sure. So why not play Johnson on the right and Kudos in the 10?
I just think it's a thought, right? Like I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, it
And
seems to me.
Bergvall at the 8.
Yeah. It seems to
But
me
that's
that,
going
like,
back
yeah.
to the 4-3-3, which you don't want.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So it's not.
Unless we ran.
It's not that I don't want it.
We don't have 2 healthy strikers, so we
Yes.
can't play 2 healthy strikers.
I just want to see some variety in my Premier League lineups. So
I guess we could go Richarlison Tell up top with Kudos behind. Then we run a Odebear Johnson Bergvall with a Bentancur behind. So we run a 4-1-3-1-2. Is that too many players? That might be too many players.
yeah, you just like a 4-1. Oh no, it's 4-1.
3-1.
It's a 4-1-3-2.
So that's 11.
It's a
yeah,
4.
so
it's 4-1.
yeah,
It's 4-1-3-2.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'd have to nix the Bentancur behind.
No, you
So
wouldn't.
it just would be Berg. Oh, it just would nix the Bergvall then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Tell and Richarlison. You got Kudos in the middle. You got whoever the two you said on the wings were. You got Bentancur behind.
Odebear and Johnson.
Odebear and Johnson, yeah. Now, maybe that puts too much onus on Kudos to kind of play an 8 role. Like you want him to kind of be a 10 in that regard, and just
you want him to
sitting
be
behind.
attacking.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see some variety. I want to see some spice in my Premier League life. So I think that would be interesting.
sure.
So, I think that's about all we got. I mean, the big one this weekend is Sunderland Newcastle. I think everyone's gonna want to check that out. Chelsea Everton could be interesting. Everton are kind of in a nice vein of form at the moment, and Chelsea have been stuttering a little bit. They had Champions League in the midweek, and so maybe there's like a rest issue there. I don't know. Arsenal play Wolves at home, so like that should be 3 points to Arsenal. And if it's not, then Manchester City will win the Premier League this year. But that's about all we got for you. We will be back. Oh, wait, no, wait. We can't leave yet because we got to talk about picks from last week. So last week, we had, I think it was 6 respondents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Yeah, 6. And interestingly enough, 6 correct picks were also the maximum number. And 2 people got 6 picks correct last week. 2 people had 5. And then we had a 4 and a 3 as well. Not a good week for Joel. He only picked up 3 correct. But the 2 people who picked up all 6 corrects and were in first position for this week were myself and Jimmy. So that Brad still stays on top. And so Brad has 78 correct picks out of 150. Myself and Jimmy are tied for second on 74. Sean drops to fourth on 73 correct.
Wow, tight.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what we're doing, each week we make predictions in our Discord, or you can just send it to us on Twitter, I guess, if you wanted to as well. But we will pick who we think's going to win and who we think's going to draw, like which games are going to be drawn in the Premier League. And we do that through our Discord, which is linked in the description of this video or podcast, wherever you're listening. So you can get involved in that action, get yourself added to the hyper mathematics spreadsheet that we have. It's very robust. And so you can get into the spreadsheet and see how you fare over the next few weeks. And maybe get some bragging rights. But we do that all through Discord. Check the link in the video or the podcast. Other than that, hit us up on social media. That guy is at whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are at redcard_radio. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We will be back next week, and maybe Brad will be back. We'll see. And we'll do it all again next week. But until then, enjoy the football this weekend. We hope you have a good one. Thanks so much for listening, and we will talk to you soon.